The member for Rankin.
Thanks very much, Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Given today's national accounts show the economy grew at a slower pace last quarter than it did the one before, and that debt has now more than doubled on his watch, why won't he admit that his inaction and incompetence on the economy means Australia faces the substantial challenges of the coronavirus from a position of economic weakness, not strength?
It's true. The Treasurer will just pause. The member for Warringah will cease interjecting. No, sorry, not Warringah. Sorry, the member for Mackellar will cease interjecting, and don't blame the member for Barara next year. That won't work. Certainly won't work. The Treasurer has the call.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the member for Rankin seeks to disagree with the Governor of the Reserve Bank. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the member for Rankin will never let facts get in the way of a good headline. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the member for Rankin ignores the most recent numbers in today's national account numbers and ignores the facts that we have seen unemployment at the end of last year come down in December to 5.1%, Mr. Speaker. We saw it go down. We saw retail sales volumes have their biggest jump in 2 years, Mr. Speaker. We saw in the September quarter household disposable income have its biggest increase in a decade off the back of our tax cuts. And if you combine it with the December quarter, you've seen household disposable income have their biggest increase in 5.5 years, Mr. Speaker. We've seen the housing market stabilise. We've seen prices rise, but we've also seen clearance rates increase, Mr. Speaker. And the Reserve Bank, through monetary policy and the initiatives that we have undertaken on the fiscal side, have also contributed to a stronger housing market, Mr. Speaker. The reality is we have legislated through this parliament against the will of those opposite more than $300 billion of tax cuts, Mr. Speaker. We have seen on our watch more than 1.5 million new jobs being created, Mr. Speaker. We have seen the first balanced budget in 11 years. We have seen the lowest welfare dependency in 30 years, Mr. Speaker. We have seen trade agreements covering, when we came to government, 26% of our two-way trading relationships now cover more than 70% of our trading arrangements. And the relationship that we have struck and solidified by the free trade agreement with Indonesia will help create more jobs, just like the agreements that we struck with China, Korea, Japan and the multilateral Trans-Pacific Partnership. The reality is, Mr. Speaker, we have delivered a stronger economy. We have delivered more jobs. We have delivered lower taxes. And Australia is in its 29th consecutive year of economic growth. We're one of only 10 developed economies in the world to have a AAA credit rating from the 3 leading credit rating agencies. Mr. Speaker, that is why the Australian people backed us at the last election, because they can trust us with the economy. The member opposite, the member for Rankin, talked about the top end of town, ran around with the member for McMahon promising higher taxes. Only the coalition can deliver a stronger economy with lower taxes and more jobs.